Bruce Johnson, president and founder of BizScalers and the BizScalers Club, and today I want to talk to you about how to improve virtually anything in your business or life. As a business owner / entrepreneur, every day you're faced with things that need to be fixed, things that need to be changed, and unfortunately the vast majority of business owners and entrepreneurs really don't have any kind of rubric or framework that they use to actually create change in their own life or their business or with anybody else in their team. And so what I want to do is give you that framework that you can use from now on, that you can use anytime, any place with anything that you want to change in your business or in your life. Sound like a pretty good deal? All right. Well, let's not waste any time. Let me walk you through these 5 simple steps that you can use anytime, any place with anything. The first step of creating change in anything, and I mean anything. It doesn't matter if you're talking about changing your business model, or you're changing the way you're marketing, or you're changing the way you're doing your sales, or you're changing the way that you're putting together systems, or you're changing your cash conversion cycle. It really doesn't matter what you want to improve. Anything you want to improve, it's going to always be the same 5 steps. So here we go. Step number 1 is always education. Now, the reason why you have to start here, as you can see here, is because you can't execute what you don't know. And this is the major problem that I encounter with almost every business owner or entrepreneur I know, is that there are things that they'd like to fix, but they can't fix because there are things they don't know that if they did, they could actually execute. But they can't execute on because they don't know them at this point. By definition, you can't execute on something that you don't know. So that's why education always has to be the first step in the process of trying to improve anything. In addition, sometimes the knowledge that we have is actually bad knowledge. In other words, it's not the right knowledge that we need. And sometimes it's suboptimal information. So we got information maybe from a mentor, or we saw something online, and we thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. But it wasn't an optimal idea. It was an okay idea. But if you want to improve something, you want to make sure that you have the right information that you can use in your business or in your life that will get you the result that you want. So one of the reasons why I created BizScalers and the BizScalers Club is because we wanted to provide that information that you would need, and literally everything you'd need to be able to grow and scale your business faster. So that's why we put it together. In fact, this past week, we had one of our inner circle meetings here in Charleston, and we talked about the subject about breaking through the noise, how to attract more attention in an ADD world. And so everybody in the room got a ton of information where they learned things that they did not know before, and now they have potential ideas that can change them, but they just have the information at this point. But until they had the information, it didn't make any difference. They weren't going to get the result that they wanted. You're in the same situation. If you don't have the right knowledge, you can't execute, therefore you can't change and improve the thing you want. But having that information alone isn't the whole process, right? It's only step 1. So if there's something you want to improve, always look and say, do I have the right information or not? And if not, you're going to have to get the education part in place. That brings us to step number 2. Step 2 is always application. And in application, what we're doing is we're talking about thinking about how do I apply this in my specific situation. And this is critical, as you can see, because information without application is abortion. So how many times have you gone to a conference or read a book or watched a course and then done nothing with it? So you had potential ideas that could improve you or your business, but they couldn't improve you because they died on the operating table, right? You weren't engaged in the process of thinking, how can I actually apply this in this specific situation with my specific team, with my specific customers, with my specific competitors, etc. And so the second step in the process is always application. It's taking the general information that you got from education, right? Because they're not in your specific situation. So in this case here, you're watching a video, it's general information. Now you're going to have to apply it into your specific situation. That's the thought process that is always step 2. Now, step 2 is critical, but it is not the whole process, right? Because it's only step 2. So step 1 is education. Step 2 is application. Step 3 is the one you have to get to, obviously, and that's always execution. And execution is critical because ideas in and of themselves can't create change. Execution does. So the application, which creates the idea, is potential change, but the change itself never comes until it's actually executed. And just think about it. How many times have you come up with an idea, written it down on a piece of paper, yeah, this is what we ought to do, and then didn't execute it? Or how many times have people on your team done that and not executed? So when you come up with an idea, that's the good part, but ultimately the information from education through application has to get to the place of execution. And if you really want to significantly see change, then you have to engage in significantly different actions, which means that in most part, you're usually going to have to get outside your comfort zone. It means that your people are going to have to get outside their comfort zone because that's usually where the greatest change takes place. So if you want to improve something in your life, it always starts with education, getting the right information. Then application, how do I apply that specifically in this situation? Then execution, where you're actually applying that idea in real life and you're starting to get results from whatever it is that you're applying. Now, it would be great if that's the complete story, but it's not, because it's only step number 3. Step 4 is just as critical. And step 4, which a lot of people forget, is evaluation. And evaluation in every endeavor is always critical, because no plan survives first encounter with the enemy. When you're engaged in applying something, you're executing it, you're implementing it in real time. When you're doing that, that's good. But the problem, of course, is that if you're taking and applying that information and you're getting a result that isn't getting you the result you want, well, then you have to figure out you got to change something. So what do? Well, in many cases, you have to go back to step 1. Maybe there's some information that I need. I read something, I got some ideas, but maybe it's not the full story. So I need to go back and read some more, or take another course, or talk to another mentor, whatever it be, the education process. And then I need to go back and evaluate, did I come up with the right idea from all of that information? And then do we come up with the right plan to execute? Do we execute it right? And then are we getting the results we want? And so you get this virtual loop between those 4 steps. So in the case of, let's say, last Friday's information, the team got all that information. They came back. They had to start thinking about, how do I apply this in our specific situation? Let's talk about one of the pieces about breaking through and getting attention is to have the right messaging. And let's say one of the small applications of that might be that I need to change the message on my website on the front page so that my ideal prospect immediately sees that within 3 to 5 seconds. It says, that's perfect. That's what I need. That will solve the problem I'm currently dealing with. Then you have to evaluate, are we in fact getting responses? Are people now, signing up? Are we getting more leads? Are people responding to that message or not? And if not, then you go back and work the whole process. Now, it would be easy for a lot of people to think, hey, once you evaluate and you get the results that you want, hey, isn't it done? Well, it could be, but it really shouldn't be, because that's only step 4, and there are 5 steps. The 5th step, which is just as important and just as critical, is optimization. And why is that critical? Because everything can be improved. This side of heaven, nothing is perfect. And so knowing that means that you want to keep going back all the time to whatever you're working on and saying, okay, we got this result, that's good. Now can we get a better result? And can we get a better result? And can we get a better result? And that usually means you have to go back to step 1, and you have to learn some more things that you didn't know, because you can't execute what you don't know. And then you're going to go back to the application, then you go to execution, then you go to evaluation, and then once again, you go back to optimization, and you keep working this whole virtual loop of these 5 steps. And that is how you can literally improve anything in life. It is a simple 5-step process that anyone can use anytime with anything that can allow them to improve whatever they want to improve, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your personal life. Now, one of the things I mentioned earlier is that I wanted to give you a 1-page summary of these 5 steps so that you can use this and remember it. And so if you go on my website, and I'll show you where to go in a second, you can download this document, and it literally walks you through the 5 steps. It gives you the reason why, the because statement, and a little paragraph about that. And all you have to do is go to bizscalers.com/free. So if you're listening to this by podcast or by video, and just go to bizscalers.com/free. If you're watching this on my website, obviously it'll be right below the video, and you just click there and you can download this document. So that's it. 5 simple steps: education, application, execution, evaluation, optimization. Those 5 steps you can use anytime, any place you want to improve virtually anything in your business or life. So if you enjoyed this and found it helpful, make sure you pass it along to some other business owners and entrepreneurs that you know. If you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel and you're watching this by video, make sure you click on the subscribe button. If you're listening to this by podcast, make sure you subscribe there as well, because my commitment to you each and every week is to bring you actionable ideas that can help you grow and scale your business faster. And I hope you'll look forward to next week's edition. And so until then, to your accelerated success, Bruce out.